I used to think my biggest enemy was out there, someone stronger, faster, more skilled. But the real fight wasn't in the ring, on the mat, or against another warrior. It was in my own mind. The hesitation before action, the fear before risk, the comfort that begged me to stop. And every day that enemy was waiting for me. There's a voice inside your head, you know the one that speaks the loudest when you're about to do something difficult. When you want to take a step forward, it holds you back. It whispers, "Not yet. You're not ready. What if you fail?" It reminds you of every mistake, every moment of doubt, every time you've fallen short. At first, it seems like that voice is protecting you. It tells you to be careful, to wait for the right time, to avoid risks. But in reality, it's not protecting you. It's controlling you. It keeps you inside your comfort zone, making sure you never grow, never take the leap, never see what you're truly capable of. The longer you listen to it, the stronger it becomes. The more you hesitate, the harder it gets to move forward. And before you know it, that voice isn't just a thought. It's a wall between you and the life you want. But here's the truth. That voice only has power if you obey it. The only way to weaken it is to stop listening. Every time it says, "You can't," prove it wrong. Every time it tells you to wait, move forward. Every time it reminds you of failure, remind yourself of the lessons you've learned. That voice will never disappear completely, but it doesn't have to. You just need to be louder than it. There's a kind of fear that doesn't feel like fear at all. It feels like safety, like caution, like logic, a reasonable excuse to stay exactly where you are. It tells you, this isn't the right time. You need more preparation. What if this goes wrong? It disguises itself as wisdom, making you believe that waiting is the smart thing to do. But if you listen closely, you'll realize this fear isn't protecting you. It's trapping you. It convinces you to stay in the same place, repeating the same routine, avoiding risks and calling it playing it safe. You tell yourself you're being patient, that you're waiting for the perfect moment. But deep down, you know the truth. That moment never comes. Fear doesn't just stop you from taking action, it slowly weakens you. Every time you hesitate, every time you back down, every time you choose comfort over challenge, your confidence takes a hit. You start believing that maybe you're not ready. Maybe you're not capable. Maybe you were never meant for more. And the longer you stay in that cycle, the harder it is to break free. But here's the truth. Most people never realize. Fear never disappears. You'll never wake up one day completely fearless. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who break through isn't that one has no fear. It's that one chooses to move forward despite it. They feel the fear, acknowledge it, and take action anyway. They understand that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It's not telling you to run away. It's telling you that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself. The most dangerous thing about fear is that it tricks you into thinking you have time, that you can wait another day, another month, another year. But the longer you wait, the more you lose, not just opportunities, but belief in yourself. Because every time you let fear win, you teach yourself that it was right. Fear is clever. It adapts. Sometimes it shows up as overthinking, convincing you that you need more research, more experience, more validation before you start. Other times it shows up as perfectionism, making you believe that if you can't do something flawlessly, you shouldn't do it at all. But both are just different masks for the same thing: avoidance. And the longer you let fear dictate your choices, the more comfortable it becomes. You start adjusting your life around it, avoiding situations that make you feel uncertain, staying within the limits it sets for you. Before you know it, you're not just stuck, you're shrinking. Your potential, your dreams, your courage are getting smaller because you've let fear define the boundaries of your life. But the truth is, the only way to grow is to do the very thing fear tells you not to do, to step into the unknown before you feel ready, to take action while your hands are still shaking. Because confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build. And you build it by proving to yourself over and over again that fear has no power over you unless you let it. Your mind will always try to keep you in the familiar. That's its job. But your purpose isn't found in what's familiar. It's found in what challenges you. In the moments where you step past hesitation, past doubt, past the illusion of safety, and into the life you were meant for, fear doesn't mean stop. It means go. I used to think strength was all about power, the ability to push through pain, to keep going no matter what, to never show weakness. I believed that if I could just become stronger, nothing could stop me. But over time, I realized something that changed everything. Strength by itself is an illusion. There are plenty of strong people in the world, people who can lift heavy weights, endure intense hardship, and keep moving forward. But many of them are still lost, still stuck, still trapped in the same cycle of struggle, never truly breaking free. Why? Because strength alone isn't enough. Strength without clarity, without purpose, without control, is just raw force. And raw force, when used without direction, can be just as destructive as it is powerful. Imagine a warrior with incredible strength but no strategy. He rushes into battle, swinging wildly, exhausting himself, making careless mistakes, reacting instead of thinking. No matter how strong he is, he will eventually fall, not because he lacked power, but because he lacked control. Real strength isn't just about force, it's about knowing when to use it, where to direct it, and when to hold back. Without control, strength becomes reckless. Without purpose, strength becomes empty. Without discipline, strength fades away. And this is where most people go wrong. They chase power, endurance, and toughness, thinking that if they just push harder, they'll break through. But they never stop to ask themselves, why? What am I fighting for? What am I building? What am I trying to become? True strength isn't about how much you can endure. It's about knowing what's worth enduring. It's about having a reason so strong that it pushes you forward, even when your body wants to quit. Strength must be backed by vision. Otherwise, it's just struggle without progress. Think about the strongest people you admire. They don't just have power, they have presence. They know who they are. They stand firm in their beliefs. They aren't just strong, they're in control. Because strength without mastery over yourself is useless. If you don't control your mind, your emotions, and your reactions, then your strength isn't truly yours. It's just something that controls you. And the moment you face a challenge that brute force can't solve, you'll realize just how empty that strength really is. Mastery over yourself is the highest form of strength. It's easy to lash out, to force your way through life, to rely on brute willpower. But true strength is quiet. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't seek validation. It's the ability to stay calm in chaos, to stand firm when everything is crumbling, to remain focused when the world tries to pull you in every direction. Because strength without direction is like a storm without a purpose, powerful, but ultimately destructive. Your strength should serve you, not enslave you. And when you finally understand that real strength comes from discipline, clarity, and self-mastery, that's when you stop just being strong. That's when you become unstoppable.